following is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 2. Welcome everyone to another one in the final game of the day in D2, this sold out Sunday in the regional semifinals. It is going to be the second Cocoa region semifinal between the 4 seed Mark and the 9 seed Evan. And we are down to just 3 games left in this round. This is semifinal number 6 of the round across the tournament. Let's see what we've seen today. And we started the day with what was a scintillating series between Aiden Smith and Taco at 11 a.m. this morning. Starting off the day, streamed, and Taco finds a way, gets it done. A little bit of unorthodox power play usage, but it pulls through for him. Had the hands in the right places, and he got the job done. And then what was just an insane series, back and forth. Comebacks were made, some comebacks fell, and Sam England over Saiyan Titan in 9. And it's been a day of game 9s. Cocoa region, Sam England going to face the winner of this one we got coming up. And then over in Arctic, Ridley up big, and Nathan made a huge comeback on the low tier to win it. And he is into the Arctic region finale against either Gio or Marcus, which will be coming up tomorrow, as we will close out this round tomorrow afternoon and evening. And then, of course, Mark and Evan coming up. Let's see where these two sit. We just mentioned the result from earlier. So Sam England, the 3 seed, is going to host the winner of this one. Home field advantage, of course, going through Sam and Saiyan. And then Mark went through Cap Gaming, who came off a DQ win, unfortunately. So this is going to be a true test for him, because you know who he gets? He gets Evan, who knocked out the top seed in this bracket, Rune, in 6. So definitely an exciting one to take a look at. So here we go. Final game of the day. G-Man joining me for commentary on this one. And G, good to have you. Mark obviously had pretty easy game against Hollywood in round 1, and then Cap Gaming may have just not been quite set right. That DQ win potentially throwing it off a little bit. So now he gets a true test in Evan, who comes off the win over Rune, and of course the win over Jackson. And this is going to be a test for both tonight. Talk me through this game between these two in this Cocoa Regional Semi. It should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, again, thank you, Short. I'm glad I was able to come out for this one. Again, been busy during this window, but had a little bit of extra time here to help you out on commentary. But there's the thing with this match. Mark has been the rookie killer so far. Through 2 rounds, 2 wins over 2 rookies here, and has just kind of been using that experience to get ahead. And 2 games that were really not that close, Mark is able to pull away pretty easily. This is definitely going to be the toughest challenge of the 3. Evan was one of the higher prospect rookies going into the season, seen by C-Line, number 9 seed. So that's going to be a challenge for him. He's looking to go 3 for 3 on the rookies. But another story that's kind of been lost into the shuffle here. Mark kind of on a bit of a redemption run here, because you got to remember, back in the Acoustic August, last regular season tournament of the 2024 season, he was 1 game away from making the Final Four, and a lot of people speculated if he ended up winning that game, making the Final Four, he very well could have found himself in the D2 championship. So for Mark, looking to make sure he could at least secure that LCQ spot ahead of time with the February Flurry Final Four. And he's going to have to go through Evan to do so to start it off. But for Evan, it's been quite the run for him. really strong round one showing, and then backed it up with a strong win against Rune, number one seed of the region. Again, going to have another tough opponent here with Mark, who's kind of been on cruise control so far throughout this tournament. But if anyone can take down Mark, it's going to be Evan, as he looks to make it to the regional final and thereafter the final four in this tournament in his debut. Ultimately, it's really just going to come down to who's going to have the better looks at the end of the day. Both are going to be looking for a decent amount of switches, but I think it's going to be an exciting one with how many game nines we've seen so far. I would not be surprised if this goes the distance as well.
All right, I'm going to go to the players here. I'll talk to Evan in a second, but I'm going to... Actually, I'll go to Evan first here, and then I'm going to type out the question to Mark, who can join us in VC tonight. Evan, you coming off a pretty big upset, taking out the top seed in Rune, and now here you are against Mark, who's really yet to really find a strong test in his first two rounds. So he might be feeling fresh, but how do you take advantage of that, knowing you've come in with a test over against Rune last round?
I'm just formulating words right now.
Okay.
On second thought, I don't think I feel like answering right now.
Okay.
I mean, just gonna lock in, go into the game here, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But
all right.
Yeah, sure. We're gonna hand it off to the Mark here on the other end here. We'll be curious to see how he responds, but again, it's been a run of both the rookie killing and also just redemption for Mark. And there's the question before you could feel free to read it out.
Yeah, I'm asking Mark, coming in cruising from your first two wins, what do you got to do to lock in, knowing Evan's going to be more of a challenge for you after his win over the top seed in Rune last round? We'll see what he says on that.
And again, this is going to be probably the biggest challenge Mark has faced so far in this tournament. And I mean, highest seed, of course, again, was able to go down and defeat the 13th seed of Hollywood and then take down the 12th seed of Cap Gaming. So slowly moving up here, but this is the first non-double digit seed he's going to be facing. But if he does win this match, he's going to have a very tough Sam England waiting for him in the regional final.
Absolutely.
But going to have to get through this first.
Yeah, did great today. Both did great. Everyone's done great today. 3 straight 9-game series. Nothing. You can ask for nothing better out of those players today, really. Definitely have to focus more on card history and changes. Make sure not to make any misplays with power play like I did last time. All right. Well, easy enough to understand there. Where did I get? Oh, that's like, why am I? Okay. It'll be tough, but I'll try my best. All right. Well, I think the time for talk is over, and I think it's time to get us going here. Mr. Savage is our ref tonight, and he'll be putting the cards in. So, you can go in and ask him, actually, since he's not in BC. Feel free to ask him how many. Well, actually, he did pick 7 really before we started, but he can go ahead and 7.
There's the official card. There it is. Yeah. I mean, Mark usually starts it off with the OG, so that's not really surprising here, but going to get things going with the green 8 as the start of game 1 and the match being underway.
All right, and he's going to make a quick switch early to yellow. Evan's got something to go for here with the 0 sugar.
Yeah, and I mean, that early switch could be interesting. You don't really know a whole lot at the start of the game, but obviously the question is swirling whether that's no greens or just wanted to start on a different color. And Mark's going to have a bit of a run going, but ends it with a draw, so leaves the reverse open.
Evan just plays cool.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're looking for that switch with the reverse open there, which didn't get it there, but it does end up getting the switch with the 3. So it goes into blue. We'll see what Evan responds with.
And nothing there.
Nothing.
Might be at least 3 color, maybe 2. Still very early to draw many conclusions on color strategy. As Mark goes for the blue top floor.
No blues on that initial draw there, so Evan in a bit of a tough spot, but gets the other blue 3 here off the draw. Mark going to continue with the blue 2, though, looking for the switch here.
Evan finds a way out, goes back to yellow again.
Does Mark have the crossover as he draws? He's going to draw.
No. And, a bit of a classic there from Evan. Trying to hold things up.
I think it's a good play there for Evan because he was kind of in a tough spot there. So was looking to try to get back to that weak yellow, but may have found something here. He's going to jump early and go into the wild green.
Back to where we started. Full circle. Still no red on the board, but Mark made the immediate switch out of green, and you can see why. He's already iced out within one or 2 plays there.
We'll see if Evan can chain something up for a finish here. He is typing a bit. Looking to have something set here. And that is the finish.
Wow. Evan finds the run.
Do see the red at the end there, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Evan with the +4 is going to take game 1. And there's Captain Gaming right there.
Yeah. Watching what happened in the region, he was knocked out of, unfortunately, in the last round by Mark. Yeah, Evan, you were both iced on that yellow. Was that switch really just trying to slow Mark down, or were you also trying to build that ammo up a little bit?
Yeah, I was mainly trying to slow Mark down.
Yeah.
I was just lucky enough to draw wild draw 4.
A little top deck. That's what I thought there.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what to ask Mark here, G. I mean, it's isn't really much I can ask him about this one. He just kind of got. I feel like Evan just kind of read him like a book a little bit with the right color switches, and that was really about all to it. I don't know if you had anything.
I mean, really, with how quick that was, 2 minutes 22 seconds. The only question you could really ask Mark is how many cards were game 2.
All right. Go ahead.
Listen, it's a good transition there. So. No, Mark can pick 7.
Oh yeah.
Might not have mattered.
He could have because he didn't win. It's fine though. Don't make mention of it. It's fine. Game 2 underway, and Mark gonna come out swinging with the double, and seems like he's gonna like the low tier tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we saw low tier earlier today have mixed results with Nathan starting it out early. Didn't get much going at the start, but then was able to find a way later on in that series. So again, with the low tier, some of it comes down to a bit of a roulette wheel. Evan's going to go for an interesting switch here. He's going to switch into red, looking for an isolation on that color.
Yeah, Nathan kind of was trying to pull off the captain arc, not the captain gaming, but the captain arc with the low tier. He was sticking to 5 or 6 almost the entire time. He had choice over the call pretty much. The second he went to mid tier with Ridley, it did not work for him, but got it down the stretch. And so self-ditto from Evan on the top floor, and Mark out on the blue. And so is Evan, so both at the same time, and they may be headed on a trip to Draw City here.
Yeah, again, I mean, Evan able to find that isolation quickly with the 6 card, and again, no plan A here
Mark
right
finds
now.
a way back to red.
And just about to say we were going to have a Draw City. Now Evan might be in trouble here as he's got nothing on the red. Will Mark have something? No, it's just going to be Draw City. Still just a different paint, just different coat of paint. And
now across the green.
Another 9.
Oh my god. 9! One down this time.
All right, here we go. Run the green. Mark looking to tie things up. Evan has a response with the green 3. And we'll see how this goes, but it's going to be a very early use of power play. I think Mark's going to close the game out here. It's an early use, but I believe he has learned he's going to connect it for a game win here.
Yeah, and you know that was one of the things he said. G, he didn't want to use it wrong. That was one of his that was his opening comment. So I think for him it was. To me, I think he was just trying to get it out of the way. You know, we know plenty of players that like to just get it out of the way. We saw Taco kind of do that. He got his power play gone early. Some people didn't agree with it because the general consensus is that power play, you'd want to save it for a clutch situation. But I mean, if you can use it to get a win, it's a win, right?
I actually think it's a pretty good usage there because there's a very real possibility Evan could have kept running the greens, and Mark had that window to get that color switch. So able to use it, prevent the difference on the number there, and gets the win. And that's a much better usage from what we've seen in the past. So I think overall that's good use of it, but won't have it for the rest of the series. Also, that game was only a second.
It was also a number efficiency. That's another thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, almost exactly the same amount of time as well. We could have had the total game time at 4:44. Oh, dang it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Evan's going to go for something a little different here for this game 3 call, but we'll see what Mark has to say first.
I'll wait to see what Mark says on this one. I mean, Evan, would you have kept it going on the greens down to the end had he not power played there?
Yeah. Sort of. With that green 5, I would have transitioned to my yellow 5, but that power play just interrupted everything.
Okay. And Mark Say wanted to end it early with so few power cards being used in high chance. I haven't had another green or a wild. I just wanted to ensure the win. That's pretty good intuition there, G. That's definitely something you want to see out of a pro player for sure. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, having that awareness, it's always a good thing to have. So 1-1 now. And Evan, the arrow goes to you. You cannot pick 7. What's it going to be?
What's going to be? I'm going for 11 cards.
Whoa, that's risque. All right.
Okay.
11 to start. Here we go. Game 3, starting with that open door skip.
Okay, so going to look towards the mid-tier here, and we'll see what this results in. But again, first special card to open the game. So going to be curious to see if Evan goes on a bit of a run here or just plays it cool with the number.
Oh.
A bit of an early jump there. That might actually give Evan a small advantage.
Depends on what Evan does.
I don't have yellow 4.
Does he have a yellow 4?
Trying to backtrack there.
Backtrack. Oh, it's a mind game. Doubles it up.
I can't believe Mark lied about that.
Oh
he did actually have a yellow 4.
My God, crazy.
But does he have a second yellow 4? That is the question.
Double play. There's the other yellow skip. He's got a 0 though, from the top floor to the basement.
Yeah, interesting start there, but besides that, just kind of running the yellow so far, a bit of a different pace from what we saw in the first 2 games with an immediate switch. Ooh. And the +2, this is chained to a +6. No, it's just going to be a double. believe that, all right, no, I was about to say ties things up, but it does not. Mark takes the lead on that.
And blue wild now for Evan. Takes the lead, but Evan making a big punch back, and Mark has something to say for that. Still behind by that +2.
I would not be surprised if that's all we're going to see from yellow for a while. I think both kind of got the most they wanted out of that, so this might be a 3-color game going forward unless someone wants to go for a stall.
Oh, here's another wild.
Sun in the green.
And so, undercuts with a little, well, not really top deck. He just probably wanted to get rid of that blue too. A little bit of a fade in a sense, going back to green.
Well,
Not back,
triple
but going
there
to
with
green.
triple with the +2.
Evan pouncing on it. Mark just plays it cool. Evan now ahead by 2. But he draws Mark. Still has
Gonna
it.
tie it.
And that's a tie. Evan, that's a nothing move. And Mark,
it might be looking to bait out the skip to get a color switch here.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a bait.
He's gonna get it.
Game of the series now. Got the bait going to red.
Is this gonna help Evan, or is this gonna be another draw here? I think he might have something, but we'll see.
Haven't seen red yet. Gotta think he does. There you go. Top floor.
Yeah, so Evan has this switch now, but it's really just about can he do enough with it where Mark doesn't end the game here.
Down to the 2.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to see what Evan can do. Because I mean, if he's just kind of running red to the end here with not much special cards, that might be a slight problem with Mark being ahead. But we'll see. He does
Evan
have
+4 to blue. That's
has
big.
The +4 puts Evan down to 2. Mark back up to 6.
Evan
and a quick switch to red.
Had to have expected it, but Mark making that undercut, and that is huge.
It's a good block there from Mark.
Now knows it. He knows what Evan wants at this point.
And Mark just keeps rolling on with the reds. I'm going to switch to green.
Again.
Would this be a bit of an isolation here? Mark has something. Does Evan have something to continue?
Nope.
No.
Just wanted to stop the bleeding in a sense there. But Mark can run it.
But does that actually give Mark an opening to finish the game here?
Another wound is opening at this point.
There's the blue. Found it.
Ice cold. Mark. He's still ahead. Oh my goodness. Undercut for check.
Mark here. Question is, does he have the finish here, and what does Evan respond with? He can't power play when there's 1 card left, so gonna have to figure out something with what he has. Checks with wild blue.
Oh,
this is the game here, no matter what.
Oh my goodness!
It's just who's gonna be the winner.
I wouldn't even power play with that at that point.
It's Mark.
Oh my goodness! Oh my Never mind. I take it back.
What a play from Mark.
Oh my goodness. Mark with the undercut to throw Evan off the scent. Great play there. My goodness.
Wow, and I mean that's just mostly that. I mean that was a game of mostly numbers. I mean you see the chain. We're through 3 games here. Longest chain has only been 3 cards, so not much of those big runs there. But that one mostly just came down to the numbers, and that was just really great plays from Mark being able to capitalize off the switches and just being able to run what he has. And ultimately, that decision for the red 6 instead of sticking it with the blue is what's going to win him the game. So, I mean, yeah, that's great stuff from Mark. Unfortunately for Evan, just kind of got caught in that, and it goes down 2-1.
Oh.
Genius play. Absolutely genius play by Mark. Read
Yeah.
me like a book.
We'll see what Mark has to say on that. Because, I mean, again, that was a game that really did come down to a 50-50 decision, and Mark chose right and got that bait into the wild blue. I would not be surprised if the answer here is just, that's what I felt like doing, but... Yeah, because I mean, again, we knew from before Evan really wanted that blue, so that maybe that was part of the decision where he gets the red and maybe at the very least just kind of stalls things out for a bit, but again, able to just kind of open up the routes for keeping the game going or even getting the win, and was able to capitalize off the wild blue.
He had a lot of blue and no red, so I wanted to keep him drawing.
There we go. Just like I said, trying to open up the routes and was able to just capitalize off the wild there. But if he didn't get it, was able to just get Draw City going.
Well, all right. So Mark goes up 2-1. Evan still can't pick 7 for game 4. What's it going to be?
We're going 9 cards.
All right.
Going down a little bit, but still sticking with that mid tier.
5 to start.
A lot of door noises in the background, and there we go. That's going to be a switch here. That's the third game where we had a pretty immediate switch off the start.
Yeah, really immediate. I mean, it's also it can also give off a lot. Really, it can really expose a lot of what you have. But I mean, drawing does the same thing. So
that's an early skip into draw for Mark. That's not great for him, but he is able to get the red 8. But that is going to put him at a slight disadvantage for 2 reasons. But now we just run the red.
Half off special from Mark to the 3. Evan goes up a couple of the 5. So just running it clean on the reds after that. And now Mark here he comes. Double looking for triple into yellow.
Very much could be looking like a 3-card switch here, and we do get a 3-card switch.
3-card switch puts him ahead. Just by the possession arrow. And we're at the top floor yellow.
Evan probably taking a second to think about what he wants to do here, but maybe a few options here, maybe limited on options, but does have an option nonetheless, and he uses the +4 here. That might have been the small decision he was making, whether to go for it right now or not. Decides to go for it and switches in the blue. And now that puts him in a spot where he has 3 cards left. And Mark has still nothing on the blue, didn't even get anything from the +4. And that could be huge for Evan.
Nothing off the +4, but it could be something. Oh, Mark.
Ooh, found a +2.
Oh my goodness.
Blue
I think he was just looking for the connection, G. That's all he was looking for. He didn't want to leave another door open, and that is what he's doing, but still leaves a door open.
That's another. That's going to be another one. But I mean, that doesn't put him in a bad spot here because he switched the color. Evan really wanted that blue, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Draw City. I mean, I don't think that's a bad play there, especially
No,
with
not
how
a
well
bad play.
Ren was running
No,
blue.
I think it was more he was trying. He knew what he wanted, and I think that's been Mark's MO all night. He reads what his opponent wants, and he tries to get out of it, even if it slows him down too.
Oh, 3 gets to switch the green. And I mean, now we're back at an even game here. Mark is going to have something on this green. Just the question is, what will it be? It's going to be a green 2, so just going 1 down. Does Evan potentially have some sort of connector? He has a double.
Ooh.
It's going to create a little bit of separation here.
Just does he have greens the rest of the way, or does he need another way out? Because he really liked the blue earlier that he had to use a +4, so I feel like he needs to find a way back to blue. Unless he inadvertently used them all in the end there, and now he's down to 2.
See what Mark does. Had the green 3, maybe looks for another switch here. But I think the interesting thing about Mark is technically the length of his typing kind of makes it where you don't really know what's coming next. And there you go, green 7.
Well, he's not typing a chain out in one message because he hasn't been doing it that way.
Gets the Uno. Green 4 is going to stick with it.
Nope.
No.
I think he needs the blue, G. I think he wants the blue. Mark's going to go to red, and I think that might be a safe play.
Might have been 1 short on that green there, but again...
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Red 9.
He might have topped that one.
Hold on.
He might have topped
We
that
don't know
one.
yet.
Might have topped... I feel like he top-decked that.
I think the real question here is what does Mark do with this now? Because, I mean, there's always a few things you can do. I'm of the philosophy if you're going to make that switch, you're going to have to commit to it, so...
Yeah. I don't think he should switch off it. I think he has something, play it like that.
Red 5.
See what happens. But I think Evan needs blue. Yep.
Doesn't have it.
I think he needs blue.
And now Mark's just able to keep rolling down. He has Uno. And now Evan looking to play potentially on the defensive if he even can. I don't think he will because he only gets 2 cards. And Mark doesn't have it either, so both with a straight card that's preventing them from getting the finish. Finds the blue finally. But has there been too many draws for him to finish? Can't quite do it. Does the power play after. It doesn't go through though.
Yeah. Have to do it
blue
before.
8. Now
so
he can't use it.
Was he setting up number a fish, or did he just have another blue?
Well, the problem for Evan now is he can't use the power play because Mark is back at Uno. This might be the game here no matter what.
Yeah. Figured that out now at this point. See. Does Evan have it? Got Uno.
Blue 6. I think this is the game no matter what. Mark draws.
What was he setting up then with the power play?
There it is.
I don't know. Yep, there you go.
There it is.
I don't know why he didn't power play. I don't know what he was doing there. Evan, talk me through that power play attempt. I mean, I would have thought you would have done it before the
Danger sense.
6.
I knew Mark was running low on stars, and I thought I could stop him right there before he could.
No, he didn't have it anyway. Red
skip is that's a bit unfortunate for Mark there, because that red skip was definitely from that prior draw. So Moment Evan switched that, Mark was in a really tough spot there.
Well, now it's even at 2. It's now a best of 5 going forward here. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't really have anything to ask Mark. I feel like I have that. I feel like we had the same read that that Evan needed blue at this point, and that was it was proven right there. But unfortunately once he was switched out of it, he had nothing he could do.
Again, ultimately, the end of that game really just came down to the numbers there, and Evan being able to find that blue 2 off the draw was really what ended up saving him there. So.
Yep. Big one there. So, and yeah, Evan, you see the stats there. I mean, the ammo has not been that heavy in this one, although it's been low to mid tier. The +4s have been a big factor for Evan, but it's even. And now it's going to go back to Mark for game number 5. See what he goes with.
And so I'm going to give the call here. No 11. We'll see. I would not be surprised if he sticks it low again.
Yeah,
but
he might go 6. Or 7. Might go 7 again. Oh, no, 8.
Okay, 8. Okay, so still on the lower end, but kind of creeping more towards that mid tier. And it's going to be another special card start, this time on the red skip.
Second skip start.
And Mark's going to go for the run here.
Yeah.
Just double.
Doubles it. Nothing special there.
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll see with these kind of lower card starts. Sometimes you just off the bat get a weak color, and we saw that in a few of the lower card start games earlier. But we'll see if that happens here. So far, red does not seem to be the weak color for both. Although I stand corrected here, as Mark is actually now just drawn, so only 2 reds off that start. I've been able to keep it going. Gets the switch though, so only 1 draw for Mark there. Cross over the blue. And Mark able to run it, but I mean, again, 2-2 here, game 5. This isn't a critical game, but I mean, being up 3-2 here puts yourself in a really good spot, especially for Evan, who still has that power play. So would put him in a advantageous spot to get a ditto. I mean, just kind of rolling with the blues here at this point. And Evan runs out.
Evan runs out. Now Mark, see how far he can take this blue.
Gets the switch, goes into Uno. It's 1-5 here. Does Evan have anything in those 5 cards to be able to stop Mark here?
May have something to pounce on going to yellow again. Or barely into yellow. So Evan undercutted the yellow earlier, and he's got an undercut.
Gonna go for the wild
green.
Green. It's gonna be a risk. We'll see if it pays off. We haven't seen green yet.
Yeah.
And will.
I feel like Mark had a yellow land. I think that became clear there. Evan is in control now. Now we're tied. Evan for the lead.
Potentially, maybe even the game here. And yes, it will. I will win the game
Wow,
with a
pulls
3-card
the
switch.
rug out. In 3-2. Big game win for Evan there. Really, it seemed like it just came down. He had the right cards in the right places there, G. I mean, he was definitely on the edge there, losing that game, and then that wild came in clutch.
Yeah, I mean that wild switch was crucial there.
Yeah, I have to thank that wild so much.
Did you have that from the top, or did you find it in the deck late, or when you were iced on blue for like a moment?
It was during when it was stuck on blue.
So that one draw.
Yeah.
Wow. Or yeah, you had 2 draws there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
The deck is clutching up, and Evans won 2 in a row. And I really couldn't point to anything Mark did wrong there, G. Anything you could have seen there?
No, not really. I mean, technically with those wilds, especially if you're running it off numbers, which I mean, Mark's been doing most of the game. That's kind of a tough spot to be put in. I mean, once he didn't have that green, Evan was pretty much smooth sailing there, especially with his remaining cards. I mean, 8 on the yellow and green, and then the reverses pretty much was giving him that lock for the win there. But yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. Evan's been winning 7-1s on the wilds in general. And that includes wilds and wilds plus 4, so been able to take advantage of that. But still 3-2 here. Mark definitely not out of this, but especially with the power play gone, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle here.
Definitely so. We'll see what he picks for game 6. I wonder if he tries to make a little bit of a push upwards in the tiers, but I'm not sure. We'll see what he does for game 6. Let's go there now. And he's keeping it low. I would have personally pushed it up, but it seems like these are just a couple of players that aren't really... Well, Evan a little bit more pushes for the mid-tier, but Mark really pushing the low tier. He's pushing that envelope, and mixed results so far. As he again aggressive switch, an undercut to blue. Fireworks early. And we're going to stick on blue. Evan with no blue. Mark trying to make the break. Still got it. How long does that take him?
This has been good plan A so far from Mark. Being able to catch a lucky break here could be huge.
Just the question is, how long until the plan A is the plan A to the end, or does he need a switch out? He's got to switch out.
Again, this has been all numbers from Mark here. No use of wilds or any special cards. So just able to kind of link it up all together here. Can he get the finish though?
Oh,
he does with the wild to end it. Wow. Was able to run plan A there, and then was with that number switch was able to pretty much just lock down that game, assuming he didn't get +2 to +4.
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing I could really do there.
Yeah, again, that's kind of just how that 5-card roulette goes. Mark able to capitalize off it, and now we went from best of 5 to best of 3 now. So minute 18 as well. Yeah, and that average time is going down. We were at near 4.5 minutes, and now we're at 3:47. Quite a few quick games here. I mean, the England sign game was decently long, but besides that, Nathan Ridley ran quickly, Aiden Taco ran quickly, and now this one's looking to be another quick one.
Asking Mark, what do you feel has been the key to pulling even here, despite the general lack of wilds through most of the series? Being outnumbered on those +4s can really hurt you. What is? It's been mostly the numbers, but I'd like to hear what he thinks. See what Mark says, but it's going to be down to a best of 3. I feel like, despite the lack of +4s, I've been getting decent luck, or oftentimes having most of my cards being 1 or 2 colors. Okay, so a bit. It's a double-edged sword, though, G, isn't it? 2-color strat can be good if you can find the switches to the right places, but it can also be bad if your opponent can pick up on that and keep you out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the most ideal situation to be put in, but if you can benefit off it, you could benefit off it big. But being able to keep the 2 colors within range and getting those switches has been important for Mark, and he's just been able to do that. So we'll see if he keeps getting 2-color here, but so far, I mean, this has been a very impressive showing from Mark.
All right, well, the arrow goes back to Evan. Evan, you cannot pick 8 for Game 7. What's going to be?
I'm going to do what the opposite of Mark did and do a full send, baby!
Oh, boy.
There it is.
Here we go.
Green 9.
Top floor green. Here we go.
I mean, with how quick these games are, I have to wonder if this is going to end up being a situation where someone gets a really good hand here, or if this will actually go long. But Game 4 was the longest on 9 cards, but haven't seen anything above 730. So we'll see if this 15-card start brings a long one here, but wouldn't be surprised if this is another quick finish.
I feel like this is going to be a test, G, of ammo control, because they really haven't seen too much. They haven't really done much with that because it's been low tier, so they got to play more aggressively because one or the other could be really close to a finish on, say, a 5-carder, but on a 15-card, I feel like you're going to find a little bit more ammo control, a little bit more patience, and a little more numbers. We've seen a lot of numbers, but I think the aggression level might go down at least early on in this one.
Yeah, you find the yellows here right now to start things off. And again, another quick switch. So we've seen that a lot throughout this series. Where
they just haven't the bot has not been kind to them off the top. They just want to change it up, give it a little bit of a rattle the cage early, if you will.
Mm-hmm. All right, 3-card switch here from Evan. That will give him the lead. And then an immediate switch from Mark here, so denies the blue. Now we'll see what Evan responds with here. Could it be potentially a crossover or maybe just running with the green? He's going to run with the green with a 3-card run. It's going to give him even further of a gap now. Evan taking a second to look over his hand. Now we've seen at times, sometimes it's a big run to the end, but sometimes it's a decision, and this one's going to be a decision as he goes with the wild red. And Mark has drawn on the red here, so that's not good for him. I think that's his first draw of the game, so he did not get a single red from a 15-card start, which is kind of crazy. I mean, again, unless this is a fade, but
doesn't seem
Mark
that
does
way.
have a lot of cards. He does have a lot of cards here, so I'd be really surprised if it was. And a double, and I mean, Evan's just going to give him more and more cards here. Again, going to go for the switch. So gets it out of red, goes back into green. We'll see what Evan responds with. Nothing. Doesn't have any green. So gonna draw. Now Mark gonna be able to work on cutting this gap here. Yeah, and I mean at this point for Mark, this is really just about kind of placing this right here because you've got to think Evan's looking for that switch. This very much could be a situation with either Evan got a top deck or he's didn't place the right number here. And there's the +4.
A +4.
That maybe was a top deck. We'll see after the game, but Evan trying to put himself back in a good spot here as we go to blue. And is going to get immediately slapped for it. There's some power cards from Mark. And it's going to be a +6 here, so that's going to be a big slap. Make that +12.
Oh, man. He's throwing him back the other
Plus
direction.
20.
Oh, man.
This is going to be a big one here. He's had enough of it.
Oh,
and the yellow
boy.
9 to close it off. Evan up to 23 cards.
Not a comeback, though, officially. Formerly a comeback, but just 2 cards short of it.
One down, green 8. Yeah, I mean, now this has kind of been pretty much a game resetter, and this will likely guarantee us our longest game of the series.
Absolutely.
Yeah, now Mark kind of just rolling through, but I mean, Mark's the leader, and Evan's just going to try to play to disrupt Mark here. So with 21 cards, you definitely have a lot of options, but how good those options are really is going to be the question. This will be big for Mark if he can make it 4-3 here, but a draw on blue is not going to help matters on that.
Not at all.
Yeah, and Evan's just going to be able to keep running on the blue here. Would not be surprised if he runs this for a while, even if with the color switches here. But I think for Evan, main goal here is to try to make sure Mark keeps drawing. Because, I mean, I feel like Evan may have at least 1+4 or something like that in his hand. So really just going to be about knowing when to use it at the right time. And, I mean, you see it there. It's going to be another looking for another forced draw here, unless Mark has potential number efficiency. He does not. So Mark back to the drawing board while Evan keeps things rolling.
Mark's still ahead by 8. Question is, can he get through out of blue to keep moving along? Oh, man. Evan, though, is going to make that choice for him.
Yeah, I'm going to capitalize on the potential big run here. This is really going to be how long this run goes. I would not be surprised if this is another 4-card command here. No, it's just going to be 2. So it's going to end up being a 6-card run here, but that is going to cut the gap substantially. Not a single +2 anywhere in that run. Just a bunch of reverses and a skip to end it off.
Yeah, and he's still behind by 2 even after all that. Just a play to try and move the needle closer.
Red 5. Evan looking to respond, goes one down with the red 4. And I mean, again, we had that big run there. Now things calm down a little bit.
Yellow. Uh-oh.
I mean, again, the thing for Mark here is, does that +2 chain end up being what cost him here? Because not a lot of ammo has been seen from him so far. He could be saving it, but we've seen most of this game. He's been running mostly numbers, so potentially going for that +20 there might have been a bad idea, especially if Evan was able to get a lot of stuff that he's saving up here for a big run to the end.
They're just running clean ahead.
Getting down to the lower cards here.
Gonna be a matter of time.
Another ditto here.
Still Mark with no power play. I mean, he used it to get a win, but there have been multiple instances later on in the series you'd think, man, could he use that?
Evan looking for something here.
Yeah, like he's setting it up.
Hey, buddy.
Yep, just a +4 though. That puts him ahead. Might be about all he needed, Chi. Might be able to run it clean down the stretch. May have a double finish in the wings. And now Mark, see what he responds with here. And I feel like the aggression meter might have to be turned up a little bit. And he's going to go to green on the wild. Haven't seen a whole lot of it. He used it to run through on his reverses, so could be still a risky play for Mark. And Evan with the undercut blue wild.
Yeah, here comes the ammo here. Evan was saving this up, and now he's using it here to make sure Mark does not have a response.
And Mark knew it too. That's why he went with the wild. But Evan, ditto, still no ammo, and I'm thinking it might be just a double at this point. He might have used it all in that reverse combo. It's a double, or if it's not a double finish, I'd be shocked.
You could, again, 4-2 here. This is close.
Not a double.
Wow,
so I think he used it all up there, G. I think he used it all up to move closer. But Mark finds a way back to green. Is that safe?
It's a risky switch. We've seen him get away with this before, but will happen again. Yes, he will. It's another
well,
ice.
he did use the wild, and Evan used the wild to go back to blue. So actually, that's not. That's not a risk, really. If you think about it.
Well, actually, that is true.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's it. But nonetheless, good ice from Mark here. Now he has completely flipped the narrative.
And now we're going to Draw City again. Oh baby.
Yep, and here we go. 12 minutes, 12 seconds here again. Longest game of the series so far. We see it on the full send. Both players just looking for a potential bailout here. There are only 38 cards left in the deck. Looking for a potential switch here as he leaves it open on the reverse.
Might be trying to bait a way out. Mark's going to take
Gets
the bait.
It. Again,
but he's down to 3.
Time.
What that might?
No.
Oh
Does
no!
that actually cost Evan here?
At that point, oh nope. Just check. Does Evan like yellow? Or what does he do with this information now? He double reversed as well, so he might be. I think he might be feeling safe here. Yep, double reverse there. I think if I was Mark, if I had a way through on the yellow, I would have split those reverses. But Mark didn't have anything. He was just trying to run it down. Ammo control going a little out the window again. That's something we haven't seen. We've seen a lot of open door power cards, G, and it's not. Sometimes it can really burn you, or it'll just be a sign you're just stuck in the mud again. As Evan top decks it too.
I think the thing that ultimately did is that gave Mark a bit of a gap here. As now we go to 3 to 6 here, but both these with top decks. We'll see if either gets a switch. And it's going to be a +6 here, and that gives Evan the lead now. 3-card switch.
Does he have a path to the end? That's the question. And then if he can get that path to the end, he's got a power play. Uh-oh. Revenge, exactly. Not a comeback, but definitely still remarkable. No pun intended, to come back from 23. But Mark gonna make another run into blue and Evan. And he's got the 5. Down to 2.
And we'll see if Mark has anything on this blue here to maybe bring Evan back, but again, that's another switch here, and he is going to have something. He's going to have the +2 on the blue. Blue reverse, going on a bit of a run here, potentially, and it's just going to be 3-card run.
Triple. A little bit of a save there. Puts him just behind by 1. And those 2 cards could have been the difference to at least keeping the game going a little bit longer for him. And Mark, and he finds a way again.
I mean, this could very much be a dangerous spot. Crossovers the red. This could very much be a dangerous spot here with how this has been drawn. So
yeah. Note there's only 1 wild and 2 +4s left.
I mean, yeah, that's the biggest concern here because
and only 1 skip on the yellow as well.
Yeah.
Plus no +2s. We're very juiced here.
Mm-hmm. If neither has a +4 or wild here, that's going to be very dangerous if we go back to draw city. And there's the first one.
Oh, there's
the big risk.
Yeah, +4 number 3, and we're staying red. Another preservation move from Mark, and he's down to 2.
I mean, for Evan, if he didn't have that other +4,
oh wait a minute! Wait a minute!
Maybe they gave him the finish, or maybe he's just got a bunch of ammo from that +4 to get that connection. This could also be a defensive move as well.
No, I think that's it. Oh, he had the last wild too.
There's still a +4 out there, though.
Interesting for him to use the wild on check. Or not check. Is that... That's not check, is it? No.
No, it's tied.
And, yeah, use the wild as well, so it goes to green. So power plays are gone.
Evan's going to really want this game win here. So, I mean, this could also be a situation where it's not an immediate finish here, but maybe the finish is on the next turn. Especially with the ammo being used up. Okay, not quite, but I mean, we are down to we are down to 2 here. This game really coming down to the wire. Red 6.
Again with the switches. They've both been switching like madmen. Evan nothing. Mark for 4-3. No. Oh my goodness.
And now this is a draw, this is a very dangerous draw city here. There is 1 +4 left in the deck, and it's in one of these 15 cards. So whoever gets that card could end up winning this game here.
Yeah, if they find it sooner rather than later, that is. Oh, Mark finds a top deck 6.
That's not really going to do much for him. Yeah, and I mean, it's not going to be the game here unless there's an insane trick here, but yeah, the red 6 did it. Wasn't really going to do too much, but keeps him low. Although again, with that +4 looming, maybe would have been better to just draw and then maybe use that as a stall. Can someone rewrite the script? I mean, gets a draw. This one could maybe lead to something. Red 2.
Again, top decks.
Does Evan have anything?
Does that set up number of fish, though? Does it set it up for Mark? No.
Does not.
And like I said, we're very juiced. You got to think about it. Yeah.
I mean, no, the game was...
Yeah, no 2s.
Every 2's been used. That game was not ending.
We can't go anywhere. Card history is a big factor at this point.
I mean, yeah, there's a blue skip left. Again, that +4. I don't think that +4 has shown up yet. I mean, this is getting really, really scary.
Yeah, we're at 89 cards played, 7 cards left, and gee, if we get to a reshuffle, all bets are off, period.
Yeah, Evan is absolutely wanting to get this +4 here because if Mark gets it, that very much could be the game here.
Yeah, Evan further behind. If it's a +4 for him, it's gonna be trying to even up the game. As he gets a 1 in, and then you look at the history, there is there are some ones out there. There are some ones out floating around, so that could be risky. It does go to blue. Mark at 3 now. He could be making the break at this point.
Evan is either a green switch here. Evan is either feeling pretty comfortable or is absolutely it's in a complete wreck right now because I think his emotions right now are really depending on whether that +4 is in his hand right now.
Oh man, Mark, does he have it? No.
No.
Evan, how far can you go with this? Little to play. Green seems to be. There aren't many numbers left, so I feel like we might be going to draw city pretty quickly. There's no reverses and skips, no +2s, so we can't get out on anything but a +4 at this point. Yeah, I mean, finds the green 4. That is the last green. That is the last green number. That is the last green number, and there is 1 4 floating around. And there's the +4.
There it is. Mark found it. Yellow skip, and might be the game right here.
Oh baby!
There it is. Mark found it. The time bomb. It was a ticking time bomb, and it just exploded.
Oh.
20 minutes to end that one. I mean, yeah, that was really what this game was coming down to. For Evan was trying to slowly find a way, but I mean, the fact that it was not his +4, I mean, I was saying it was either he's feeling comfortable or he is a complete wreck and didn't have that +4, was trying to maybe find a way to get to the end, but Mark able to finally find the +4 and the game was over right there. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you got any questions for Evan, feel free to do so. I could probably type something up for Mark while you're at it.
Yeah, go ahead. Evan, I mean, you kind of heard us talking about it. It really was a ticking time bomb trying to find that +4, and it really came down to the numbers there. Were you utilizing that card history looking in there as we were coming down the stretch there? Because it really came to be utilized here in the booth as we were really close there. Thoughts on that? Just wild game there.
Yeah, sometimes some planning just falls apart when you're forced to draw 20 whole cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like you almost made it back there from the 23 cards. What was going through your mind? What did you start to formulate in your head as you were sent back to 23? What was the mindset there, knowing what did you know you had to do coming out of that to try and pull yourself up and go back and get him back?
I had to get back at this guy somehow.
Yeah,
that's basically what was going through my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark's G asking, you mentioned this game is down to the final +4. You wanted to find it. Was managing to keep things low throughout that and managed to win the game despite Evan using the power play. 4-3, 1 game away from making back to the regional finals. Thoughts on that game as we hit over 20 minutes? Yeah, now basically doubled the game length there. Also, those of you getting ready for Ashley v. Logan, that will be delayed over in D1 after this one. And it's crazy how every power card is taken except that final +4. Yeah, basically completely juiced, and that is probably a classic card history finish. And yeah, Mark was lucky, G. Top deck city, that really was what it came down to.
I mean, yeah, that was the biggest threat there. And I think Evan was trying to find a way to slowly get to the end there, but unfortunately with Mark kind of staying low and also just keeping the draws going, he was kind of setting himself up to find that. So I'm wondering for Evan, maybe thinking maybe he should have just played the draw roulette as well. But I think with Mark just being able to keep it low to put himself in that position to capitalize off the bailout really was what set him up with the win there. And I mean, the yellow skip into 3 just had that finish waiting there. So again, Mark just was able to position himself to benefit off that. And yeah, I think for Evan, the biggest disappointment with that was using the power play and not coming out with a win there. So he's going to have to win 2 clean games here to keep things going forward. But I mean, again, Mark, this has been a really good showing for Mark here. So definitely giving Evan a hard time, but Evan still staying resilient and in this game.
Oh, absolutely. Resiliency is definitely shown for him, coming back from 23 and making it close at the end there. So, but yeah, the plus 20 really made the card history come into play to be a factor. We'll see what you do for game 8. So, Evan, it's going to be your final call here, and still cannot be 8. What's it going to be?
I think it's. I think I gotta go back to my standards. We're going.
Say again.
7 cards.
7. Gotcha. Thank you. You cut out there. No problem. All right, let's do it. Game 8, 7 cards, and here we go. Evan looking to try and even it up. No power plays at this point. It's all off the table. And we will see what happens. Yellow 4 are we going to have another one of those moments, early switch, or are we going to stick with it? And nope, a double play early. Again, Evan playing aggressive. He knows what he's got to do, G, and he's turning up the heat a little bit early.
Look, again, I mean, we've seen so many game 9s before. I would not be surprised if this goes 9 here, but Evan off to a good start here to do that. Mark looking to obviously close things out here right now, but we shall see. All right, yellow 9. Hold on a second.
And here comes Mark at a double play, skip 6. So evens out on that +2. Evan again going for the wild, and he's in the driver's seat. And now Mark triples into blue on the reverses. Evan, though, finds a way back to green. Number efficiency jumping across the top floors. Mark draws. Great ISO play from Evan. This has been a spectacular game. Double play to wrap it up. And that's all she wrote. 2 minutes even, and we are tied at 4. We are 4 for 4. Game 9s. We are tied at 4. And oh baby. Evan, you were saying you had to get back to what got you right there. 7 cards seemed to be what you needed, and you just had control of that. Was it really anything more than Plan A had the hands to get the job done? Pretty simple.
But to be honest, my plan was kind of almost fell apart when Mark played those two verses. But it's all about that number efficiency.
Yeah, I don't have much to ask Mark there. Really just got Plan 8. It was 2 minutes even. So I think we can go to G. I mean, I know you mean I don't know if you caught that, but basically Plan A. I mean, nothing really to say to Mark.
Yeah, no, sorry, I missed most of that game. The dog was going a little crazy, but yeah, I mean, just Plan A for the most part. Evan able to make it tied up to go to game 9, 4 for 4 in game 9s today. So kind of wild how we run through that, especially with how the start of this round went with the My Hell Red and Luke Clint not going the distance, but been a wild one. I mean, we're wrapping up the day the way we started off to game 9 here.
No power
Mark
plays on the
looking
board this time.
no power plays also. So Mark looking to get the big win here, and Evan looking to continue the rookie debut.
Yeah. Big implications here. It is 4-4 once again, and we will see what happens. Cannot be the sender for Mark. Let's see what he wants. Again, we look again at the bracket real quickly. Sam England awaits the winner of this game, number 9. And no power play. It's just going to be all to the cards. Let's see what goes down.
Wild
what
start
a
to-
great start. Free choice. Let's go.
This is going to be big because we talk about how before with the 2-card strat for Mark was a double-edged sword. This is also a double-edged sword because where the way you start this could really benefit you or it could really hurt you. So Mark's going to start out with a blue 4. Does Evan go for the switch, or does he run blue, or even just draw? I mean, we've seen draws before, especially with only 8 cards. So we'll see what happens, but there's a lot of variables that go into a wild start. Going to be the switch, so it goes with red.
Early switch again. They've been really trying to make statements every time. Early switches
And
have been all over
going to hurt
the
Mark a
place.
lot. That's going to hurt.
That is going to hurt on the red.
Evan going to run it down a little bit, already down to 5. Mark really needs to look for either a top deck or a quick switch here. Does not want that blue 4-star to be what costs him this series, but it's not looking good right now. I mean, Evan just able to run what's definitely his strongest color off that starting draw. Mark gets a top deck here, but could that potentially disrupt? That might have disrupted Evan. Maybe he was looking for a switch off the 9. So we'll see. I mean, Evan could have just ran out anyways, but that might be what Mark needs to get himself slightly back into this. All right, another top deck here. That might again close the gap. Might close the gap again a little bit. Evan is going to get the switch out though, and now we go back to what Mark wanted originally with the blue. Blue 3.
Crossing to blue, and now Mark still able to play. And Evan still ahead by the 3-pack.
Blue 8.
Blue 8, now Evan is iced. On the ice cold, Mark in the driver's seat again. And now it's even. Evan trying to find something here. Can't. Mark is in the lead. He can take a 2-card lead here. Oh, he's got a reverse. He's making a run here.
I mean, if Mark was able to run blue this long here, that might have actually been to the detriment of Evan.
Artificial switch to green.
And I think that's going to run the Blues dry for now, unless Evan got an unfortunate draw there. Slap in the face right away. Had to do that. Was not feeling comfortable.
Yeah,
now
slap,
Evan.
Yeah.
Evan's going to take the lead now.
Can't fault him in a win or go home. Evan half off special with the 2. He's still ahead by a possession. But here comes Mark again with some more little split ammo action. And the split
finish.
Mark for the win.
Yellow skip.
Mark pulling split ammo, wow. And that is it. One of the best performances we've seen out of him, G. We were saying so, and he pulls the split ammo to win it. My goodness.
I mean, near flawless from Mark, to be honest. That was, again, that was probably one of the best performances I've seen out of him in this entire, like, from his league play. I'm very impressed by that. Evan was definitely not an easy challenge here. He gave it all he had, but comes up just short. Mark had to, I mean, I wouldn't even say 100%. He had to go 105% on that one to win and gets the job done in 9. So able to find it in the end with the 4-card run to the finish. But yeah, I mean, yeah, what a showing from Mark. I'm very impressed by that run. Yeah, I think Short's going to be typing out the question for Mark here to start things off. But I mean, yeah, what a series to end the night. Real back and forth. Saw a good bit of good ammo, a good bit of ammo control, and also some back and forth. Also had that game. Did also have that game 7, which was a little bit different from the rest of the series, with a bit of a plus 20 thrown down. But I mean, besides that, mostly stayed within the same range of length for most of the games, and really just came down to the wire at the end there. And what a way to end the night!
What a
at
way.
least on the D2, at least on the D2 side of things.
Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah. Four for 4 game 9s. Unreal day. But it's going to be Mark and Sam England. We'll have the bracket here for you to see in a moment. We're going to get Mark's comments on this one. Just it's a great performance from Mark, and it's going to be 3 versus 4 in the Cocoa region. Made a big mistake in game 8 where I was too greedy with +4 overall. I was happy that definitely very tough competition. And Evan, I mean, it's your rookie season, right? Definitely came out and beat some heavy hitters early on. How do you take these couple of wins to start off your season, take it forward to T2, and try and keep building that platform?
I'm here to put on a show. I'm here to put on a show for everyone, and I'm pretty sure I can accomplish that and more. And I'm gonna keep going on that.
Right. That should good. Yeah. You showed some great promise. I'm sure you'll be. Stock is rising for you. Stock is rising for both these guys. G. I mean, Mark. I mean, we all know what happened round 1 with the logistics problem, and then, of course, kind of had an easy bet hit about it with Cap Gaming. Unfortunately, having the DQ just may not have been quite up to the task, but this really he showed massive improvements tonight. Split ammo, all the ice plays, just absolutely amazing stuff out there.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a real big step for Mark, because for me at least, there was very few mistakes he made all night. Was able to capitalize on some of the openings that I was trying to go. Was able to get the 50-50s off that. I mean, again, a great ending play in game 2, especially that one sticks out in my mind. That's not really something you would have seen last year out of Mark. Mark definitely made quite a few mistakes last season. Had a few issues there, but I mean, especially through these first 2 rounds and now just here, has really kind of cleaned up the gameplay. And again, that was just a phenomenal performance from Mark. If he could keep this up, he could very much put himself in a great spot to potentially win the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
That is a quote and a half.
Please tell me.
I think I got a little screwed up.
Maybe. I can't stop winning. Yeah. That didn't quite work. Anyway.
Well,
yeah.
see you next month.
Yeah. Yeah, don't forget to leave a quote. Okay, never mind. We will head over to the bracket now as we wrap up the day. So 2 game 9s in this region today, and both going to the higher seed. It is going to be number 3, Sam England, number 4, Mark, in the Coco regional finale. And we aren't done with action today. When March Madness going to wrap up. It says 9:30. It'll be a little bit later, maybe 9:45 or so. We are going to start it off between the world champ Ashley, off probably the shortest layoff out of anyone, and Logan, who is trying to top his win total from last year with a big statement win. And then coming up tomorrow, a stream doubleheader here in D2 as the 8 seed Geo takes on the 12 seed Marcus at 4 o'clock in the Arctic region semifinal. The winner there is going to get Nathan, the 7 seed. So they will, whoever wins that will be on the road. And then in the bobsled region, to round it out, the regional semis will be the 13 seed Bree, the 16 seed Scars. Winner is going to go to face Red in the semifinals. Red will be playing host as the 10 seed with the home field advantage. So thanks to G, thanks to everyone on this one. Great day of D2 action. Great day, great stream right here. Absolutely phenomenal action all day today, and we will be back tomorrow for a doubleheader to round out the regional semis in February Flurry. The field is whittling down. We have just a few left, and by this time tomorrow we'll be down to just 8. So that is going to do it for us. Join us for D1. Ashley and Logan coming up here with me and the boss here in just a little bit. But for now, I am not short. For all of us here at MRA, thank you for joining us and have a great evening.